Imagine winning your country's only European honor, scoring the fastest World Cup goal in history, hitting the net in just 10.8 seconds, and being the top scorer of all time for your nation's domestic top flight. And after you retire, nobody is allowed to talk about you, effectively being erased from history. From being one of your nation's footballing superstars to working as an Uber driver to make ends meet, this is the story of Hakan Sukur. Born in Sakarya, a province of Turkey, Hakan loved football from a young age. Playing for his city's team Sakaryaspor, he would go up the ranks and found himself making his debut for the first team a little after his 17th birthday. The young striker would come on as a substitute and was able to make an impact for the club, with his first 3 seasons netting 19 goals in 41 appearances. This impressive output would lead to fellow Super League side Bursaspor purchasing him, where his play would earn him a call-up for the Turkish national team. Spending just 2 years at Bursa, being one of the more talented strikers in the league, Turkish giants Galatasaray would be the ones to take a chance on him. And his career would really benefit from this move. Scoring an impressive 19 goals in 30 matches, leading Galatasaray to a domestic double, he would earn his nickname as the Bull of the Bosphorus. Attracting European suitors such as Serie A side Parma, they would be interested in him and make a transfer. However, everything went terribly wrong, as Hakan couldn't settle into Italy at all and didn't mesh with the team, and in just 5 games would return back to Galatasaray. Upon his return, the second season would be the peak of his powers, as he would score 38 goals in the Turkish league campaign, equaling the highest number of goals ever scored in the Turkish top flight. In fact, he would three-peat the Turkish league title while winning the top scorer in each season. However, it is the 1999-2000 season which was supposed to cement his legacy forever as the greatest Turkish player of all time, when he led Galatasaray to the Europa League title, winning against Arsenal in a penalty shootout.
Hakan Sukur, their number 9, places it brilliantly. The first Turkish club to win a major European honour. Galatasaray lift the UEFA Cup.
They would win the Turkish League and Cup that season as well, and it would be the best season in a Turkish team's history. The Bull of the Bosphorus would look for a new challenge, as he already achieved everything he could in Turkey. Going back to Italy this time, he would find himself at Inter Milan. However, this was a questionable choice from him, as they already had 2 legendary strikers at attack. With Ronaldo Nazario and Christian Vieri playing, it was hard to get reasonable playing time. Although staying for a year and a half, he also realized this mistake, and that his talent could be utilized somewhere else, so he would decide to return to Parma in the 2002 season. And although his second stint on Parma was more successful due to winning the Coppa Italia with them, he still couldn't settle in with the Italian side, causing him to be released, joining Blackburn Rovers in the Premier League. However, he would break his leg in training and leave the season after. So in July of 2003, the Bull decided to return to Istanbul, joining the club that gave him everything, Galatasaray again for the last time. Although this time, he had certainly been an aged version of himself. He was still able to assist Galatasaray in his last season. He won the league title, scoring double-digit goals before deciding to retire. Hakan Sukur was without a doubt one of the most successful Turkish players in history, as he would be the top scorer of the Turkish league 3 times, won 5 Footballer of the Year awards for Turkey, 8 league titles with Galatasaray, and of course the country's biggest footballing achievement, the Europa League trophy in the year 2000. Loved by many Galatasaray supporters and etching his name into Turkish footballing history, his retirement at 37 saw him leave the game as the Turkish national team's top ever goal scorer, scoring 20 more than second place Burak Yilmaz. He left the game as an icon. However, instead of vacationing the world, partying, or spending time with family and living a relaxing and luxurious life, Hakan decided to enter politics, a move that would tarnish his legacy forever. Chapter 2. From Icon to Traitor. See, Hakan was close to Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Being pictured together, he was even reported to be at the wedding of the Turkish footballing star. Joining the AK Party, which is the ruling party of Turkey and Erdogan's political party, he was even given a seat in parliament after the AK Party won the election of 2011. Fast forwarding to 2013, Hakan would resign from his position, and some would ask why. He was in a cushy office job while also having a position of power. Well, see, Hakan was friends with a man named Fethullah Gülen, or Feto for short, and Feto had been running schools all over Turkey, but they had been banned from operating. See, FETÖ was also close to Hakan, as he would also be pictured at his wedding. FETÖ was, let's just say, a mysterious and interesting figure in Turkey. He held a lot of power and was running these schools all over the country. But see, FETÖ had a problem. He didn't really get along with President Erdogan anymore. In fact, so much so that in 2016, the Gülen movement would organize a coup in Turkey to overthrow the president. Although FETÖ denies he was organizing anything, his alleged plan would fail, and Erdogan and the Turkish military was able to shut down the plan.
Just to be clear, were you in touch or did you in any way encourage them in any shape or form?
If somebody makes that claim, they have to prove that claim. I've been in America for 18 years now. I don't know who the soldiers are, who the commanders are, which rank they are, whether they would listen to me or not. Some of them may know me because I've been preaching for 50 or 60 years in mosques and conferences.
And well, obviously, President Erdogan didn't take any of this lightly, as now FETÖ and anybody in his group would be labeled as terrorists and traitors of the state. And although FETÖ was able to flee into the US where he now resides, many people who are linked to this group have been arrested. Now, bringing back the spotlight to Hakan, he was already on dicey relationships with the president after he had made some tweets in February of 2016 criticizing President Erdogan and his son. He had been criminally charged with insulting the president, which is something that is illegal in Turkey. But due to his ties with FETÖ being the last straw, he would have a warrant out for his arrest. Fortunately for Hakan, he had moved to the USA a year prior, living in California. But the bad part about this was, he was now seen as a traitor to the state. The Turkish government would seize all of his assets, including his bank accounts and multiple properties, as well as business that Hakan owned, therefore hindering his finances severely. This is millions of dollars we are talking about here. The man was a professional footballer for years, but he had lost it all overnight and would resort to opening up a cafe in Palo Alto. Although he would then leave the business due to, well, putting it in his words, strange people kept showing up and instead became an Uber driver and sold books to stay afloat financially. As of 2023, the man was finally able to open up a footballing academy, which is currently open to this day. But it seems as though the bad blood is still there, as even mentioning his name could get you fired. Just like one Turkish commentator during the 2022 World Cup who had spoken of Hakan and how Turkey held the record for the fastest goal at the world's biggest tournament. He would be pulled out of the broadcast at halftime of the Canada and Morocco match and be fired on the spot. But if you were to ask Hakan, he says he is totally innocent and claims he had no part in organizing such a coup. However, that hasn't stopped his name from being erased. Not only do you get fired for talking about him on state TV, but all of his photos and accomplishments have been taken down from Istanbul's Sport Museum as well as Galatasaray's museum. One thing is for sure, as long as Erdogan is in power, Hakan will not come back to Turkey. Although he has stated he loves his country, many Galatasaray fans have turned a blind eye to him. The story of Hakan shows that nothing in life is forever. One moment he is the country's biggest footballing icon, loved by many, living a life of luxury as he was a multimillionaire, to now, well, being seen as a traitor to the state and having your records and accolades forgotten and losing basically everything you gained from your footballing career. Hakan could still be found on his YouTube channel as well as his Instagram page, which he is still active on. But what do you guys think about him? I would love to hear your opinions on this story down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more footballing content.